came here in 1986 to run it for myself in October. I signed the papers and I was owner of the Red Barn Incorporated. People come in here for the experience, more so than I think anything else. And they love the fact that somebody's actually taking the time to listen. Find that balance between doing what you love that isn't really work, that might pay the bills, and more importantly, can resonate with people and actually to some extent help people. That's pretty rewarding. Without my customers, I would be doing what I don't love, guaranteed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Sneddon, Dean of the Workforce Training and Professional Development, and it is my pleasure to welcome everyone here to Kennebec Valley Community College, the Fairfield campus, on behalf of President Hopper, the students, faculty, and the staff. President Hopper is not able to attend tonight. He is doing an on-site accreditation visit at another college, but he is sorry he's missing this exciting event, and he sends his greetings. This is an exciting evening for the Mid-Maine Chamber, their 55th annual awards ceremony, to celebrate and honor and recognize those community members for their excellence. Congratulations to all of this year's winners and to all those who have been nominated. I'd like to now introduce and welcome Kim Linloff, turn the ceremony over to her, and she is the President, CEO of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce and the Executive Director for the Central Maine Growth Council. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Well, good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome you here this evening to the 55th annual presentation of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Awards, sponsored by Central Maine Motors Auto Group and Inland Hospital. Our reception sponsors this evening include CGI, Elanco, and Valley Beverage. This evening's entertainment featured Christine from Snow Pond Center for the Arts, and it's sponsored by Maine General. Thank you for all your support. I also want to acknowledge some distinguished guests in the audience this evening. Greetings to State Representative Tom Longstaff and his wife Cindy, to State Representative John Pisciotti, and to State Representative Aunt Kathy and Uncle Bobby. They love it when I do that. I also want to give a shout out to Michelle Mishu, who's here from Senator Collins' office, to Karen Staples from Bruce Poliquin's office, and to Scott Wilkinson, who's here from Senator Angus King's office. Thank you for joining us this evening. And I would say that most of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce board is here this evening. If you're a board member, if you could just please raise your hand. Thank you for making the effort for all that you do and for all your support. Thank you very much. I work with so many of you in this room, as do, whoever's got their phones on, turn them off. I just heard one go off. I forgot to say that. I work with so many of you here in this room, and it's our great pleasure every day to come to work and to work with so many dedicated business professionals and leaders. Colleagues that give of themselves and give back to the community and that are here to celebrate with you and with everyone for all of the area accomplishments. Some of those partners include the leadership from our area education institutions like KVCC, Thomas, and Colby College. Nate Town, who's here from Waterville Creates, our arts partners, which we work with on a daily basis. Lisa Halley from the Bill and Joan Alphon Foundation. Garvin Donegan with the Central Maine Growth Council, our Senior Economic Development Specialist, and last year's Rising Star winner. We also work with our financial institutions and large and small businesses, our area hospitals. We also have Christian Savage here, who's the new economic developer for Somerset Economic Development Corporation. So thank you all for being here to celebrate us. You make coming to work a pleasure. Our plan tonight is to honor 9 award winners in grand style and to highlight 4 exceptional restaurants and caterers from our region, which you've been sampling this evening. They include Italia, Pete's Pig, Rita's Catering, and the Parsonage House. Let's give a big hand to tonight's caterers. And doesn't this place look great? Special thanks go out to Are You Ready to Party and Valley Beverage for helping with the setup, our awards committee and its chair, Brandy Meisner of Skowhegan Savings Bank, and to all the annual awards committee members. Thank you for putting on such a beautiful show. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my staff. Thank you to Brittany, Patricia, and Kelly for all that you do to pull this off this evening. What a fantastic job you've done. And of course, we're grateful to Rick Hopper, Jeff, and the team here at KVCC for giving us this space and for accommodating such a large crowd. Thank you for being such gracious hosts. Tonight, as we prepare to celebrate 9 outstanding individuals and businesses in our region, I'm reminded of the commonality among these individuals that distinguishes them, their devotion to our region and support of each other. In this anniversary year of the death of Martin Luther King Jr., we're reminded that he said, "Everyone can be great because everyone can serve." And we have a great list of award winners to honor this evening. Since the ceremony serves as our annual membership meeting, I would like to introduce Gary Levesque, your 2018 Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Board Chair. Gary is the principal at New York Life in Oakland, and he's going to briefly update you on the state of your chamber. Gary?
Good evening. Excuse me, I'm getting old. See, on behalf of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, I would like to welcome you all to the 2018 Annual Awards Celebration. Each year we gather to celebrate some of the incredible area businesses, leaders, and community members. Tonight's winners are a great testament to what the Mid-Maine has to offer. This is truly an exciting time to be living and working in the Mid-Maine region. We have seen over the last several years. Can't read this. We have seen over the last several years what can be accomplished when we work together. With the expansion of the chamber building, we are now able to house the chamber, the Central Maine Growth Council, and the Small Business Development Center all under one roof. This allows for a strong coordinated community response, promoting growth and prosperity in our area. Our relationship with the Central Maine Growth Council and the exceptional leadership of Kimberly Linloff and Gavin Donegan has enabled us to work hand in hand to attract and support businesses in and to this region. Some of the investments in our area we have seen is a Kobe leveraging of resources and redevelopment of several properties in the downtown Waterville, as well as new construction efforts that will revitalize the downtown area. KVCC has leveraged the Harold Alphon Foundation grant funds to expand and enhance the campuses and to add business-specific programs. Thomas College has added new dorms, and with the addition of the Harold Alphon Institute of Business Innovation, they are able to provide mentors, workshops, a speaker series, and more to students and business people. These investments in educational infrastructure are being made to help strengthen the resources, the human resources that will be available to our region and attract new businesses. Also, the Trafton Road Interstate Exchange developable land provide us room to grow even further. Today, the Chamber stands strong and ready to support our members, more than 635 members through advocacy, education, and marketing services that will strengthen businesses as well as our region. With all the new development and educational services, it makes us an attractive place for the companies to bring their businesses. We need to all work together to make Mid-Maine a great place to live, work, and for many years to come. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Kim Linloff back to the podium to begin tonight's celebration. Please join me in giving Kim and the awards recipients a warm round of applause.
One of my favorites, Maya Angelou, once said, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver." Tonight, I'm delighted that you are here to join me in celebrating people and businesses, our neighbors, friends, and colleagues who give so much to our region. Taking time to revel in the good things that we enjoy in the Mid-Maine region is so important, and it gives me great pleasure to bring you this slate of award winners. It's because of your nominations that we present these winners. Thank you to those who took the time to send us an email and let our committee know all about the great things that your associates, local businesses, and friends are doing. Inspired by Waterville's branding initiative and the movement to designate Waterville as an artistic destination spearheaded by Waterville Creates, the annual awards celebration committee contracted with Paul G. White to create these unique state of Maine plaques that we'll be presenting this evening. Our intention is to change the design of the award each year. As you may recall from last year, we had we had 8 leather frames that were individually designed. We plan to change it up each year. We've done mosaics, we've done glass-blown pieces, so every year will be something different. In the future, perhaps we'll feature a sculptor or a watercolorist. We welcome any suggestions you may have. And to kick off the festivities, I'd like to invite Paul Urenick and Kelly Duran from Colby College to come forward. Colby's sponsorship of one of the awards this year, which I think is Distinguished Community Service, includes a $500 contribution to the Joseph B. Isaiah Scholarship, which is a 4-year, $750 scholarship that the Chamber awards annually to an area youth going on to a New England college. At this time, Paul and Kelly will present the check to Gary and me. Thank you once again to Colby. So let's get started. I'd like to welcome Jay and Desiree of Mix 1079, who will alternate reading the biographies of award winners. We will then have the recipients come over to where we just were with the last photo, receive the award, and take their picture. Before we do, let me take a moment to review what each award recipient will present this evening. Each is going to receive a custom award, a framed copy of the Morning Sentinel's article, which is a gift from the Morning Sentinel. Thank you to them. A legislative sentiment sponsored by Representative Tom Longstaff. Also going to receive letters from Congressman Bruce Poliquin, Senator Susan Collins, Senator Angus King, Congresswoman Shelley Pingree, and Governor Paul LePage. Thank you all for your contributions. Before we present each award, I'm going to read the criteria for receiving the award. Except for Distinguished Community Service, all award winners must be Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce members in good standing. So I'm not going to read that every single time, although our Distinguished Community Award winners are members in good standing. I'm going to respectfully ask you as audience members to please be courteous and keep your dialogue to a minimum while the presentations are airing and the award recipients are speaking. This year we have a bright spotlight, so if you're not quiet, Gary's going to point that at you. So let's begin. The first award is the Customer Service Stardom Award, and it's sponsored by Days Jewelers. The criteria are as follows: must illustrate pride in job and demonstrate exceptional customer service. The nominations can be from someone within your own business or a business that you frequent. Must live or work within the Chamber's geographic region, and this award cannot be for a business owner.
Okay, those are yours. Yep. You gonna say something?
Good evening. Thank you for the honor of having us here. I'm Jay Hansen.
God. Wow, it is really sparkly up here with these this thing on. Okay. Holly Karen joined Brian Bernacci when he founded Golden Pond Wealth Management in 1996. Holly's responsibilities included overseeing the transfer of Brian's existing clients to LPL and again performing the same role when Bert Langette joined the firm. In the early years of Golden Pond, her responsibilities were many, from answering the phones to handling all the firm's trading operations. Holly served as the point person for all services for all clients. As the firm grew, Holly's responsibilities grew to include servicing the firm's institutional clients, all retirement plans, and exclusively providing service and administration to Brian's clients, for whom Brian was or is their personal financial advisor. The absolute trust and faith I have in Holly to provide exceptional, extraordinary, and caring service to our clients is shared by them. Holly's service to Golden Pond has been a critical component of our growth and retention of our clients, many of whom have been with us for more than 2 decades and now serve many of their children and, in some cases, grandchildren. 9 times out of 10, clients call to speak with Holly and not me, says Brian. Clients at Golden Pond have come to know and adore Holly. She is passionate about her ongoing service to the hospice volunteers of Waterville area and previously served on the board of directors for the United Way of Mid-Maine. Holly holds Series 6, 7, and 62 securities licenses and has earned her Chartered Mutual Fund Counselor and Chartered Retirement Plan Specialist designations through the College of Financial Planning. Her invaluable knowledge is an asset to the company and its clients, as is her kind and compassionate demeanor. Holly's colleagues add that they are so proud and honored to have Holly chosen as this year's Mid-Maine Chamber's Customer Service Stardom Award recipient. Please join us in recognizing Holly Karen, Mid-Maine Chamber's 2017 Customer Service Stardom Award recipient.
Wow, that's super bright. Thank you to the Chamber. Thank you for reading that. The first Chamber Awards ceremony dinner I attended was in 1986 when my grandmother, Hazel Williams, received the Distinguished Community Service Award. It was presented to her by Senator George Mitchell, who was a very good friend of hers. The award was well-deserved, as she and my grandfather were very active in this community for many, many years. And they gave so much of their time and energy to the betterment of Waterville. Our family learned a lot from their work ethic, their giving ways, and their dedication to community. Fast forward 32 years, and I stand here humbled to accept this award from the Chamber. I am thankful for the opportunity I've had to build a successful career in the same community that I call home. Thank you, Brian and Danielle, for nominating me for this award. I feel like all of us at Golden Pond earned this award together. Our team is second to none, and a pleasure to work with each day. Thank you to each one of you for your support and friendship. I see you, Danielle, waving to me. Since the inception of Golden Pond in 1996, our guiding principle has been to treat our clients like friends and family with kindness and integrity. When you spend a few decades working with these same clients, you have an opportunity to assist them with life events that are both rewarding and challenging. This week, one of our very first clients came to the office. He is now an elderly gentleman who over the past few years has lost his wife. He has 2 children that are both facing significant medical conditions, and he is struggling with the basic challenges of aging. It was the best part of my day and probably my week, even though the week isn't over, to be able to listen to him reminisce about his wife, their adventures, memories of their family cottage that he recently sold, and his new friend that he spent the last winter with in Florida. He thanked us many times over for our guidance over the years regarding his portfolio. And this is just a reminder why it matters every day that we do our very best for each client. Passing of Barbara Bush, I'm reminded of one of her favorite quotes. Never lose sight of the fact that the most important yardstick of success will be how you treat people, your family, friends, co-workers, and even strangers that you meet along the way. This quote is very fitting for how I try to approach every day at Golden Pond. In closing, I would like to thank the Chamber for this recognition, and I'm really grateful. So thank you all very much.
Our Customer Service Stardom Award is, whoops, that's the wrong one, I just did that one. Our Rising Star Award is brought to you by Coldwell Banker Applaud Real Estate. The criteria includes the following. Must be under 40 years old and illustrate a combination of business success and community involvement. Must be in management or other leadership capacity within the organization, and must live or work within the Chamber's geographic region.
Phil Boffia is a highly motivated and experienced professional with expert proficiency in managing all aspects of business development. Phil is currently employed at CGI as a business analyst. He moved to the U.S. in 2002 from Cameroon, Africa, attended high school in New York, and then opted to attend the University of Maine in Orono. Phil graduated from the University of Maine in 2009 with a Bachelor of Science in Management, where he was also a member of the University of Maine basketball team. While at UMO, Phil achieved a notable success in both academics and in athletics. He now is a resident of Maine for 13 years. He and his daughter, Alyssa, have resided in the city of Waterville for close to a decade. Phil is a passionate and active community member, and currently Phil is the chair of KB Connect, the young professionals organization in our region that is focused on developing our emerging leaders. Member of the Marketing and Membership Committee at the Mid-Maine Chamber, member of the City of Waterville Airport Advisory Committee, a Rotarian, and holds a trustee seat with Kennebec Valley Community College, and is vice president of the Waterville Area Habitat for Humanity. Please join us in recognizing the 2017 Rising Star recipient, Phil Boffia.
Okay. So I didn't have a speech prepared, and then Kim told me I should say something. I was like, ah, boy, okay, there we go. So I say something. Well, thank you all. I'm super excited to be here. It's a great honor and privilege to be here this afternoon. When I received the call, I told one of my friends that I was getting the Rising Star Award. They were like, boy, they sure picked the tallest guy to give the Rising Star Award. They said, I believe that's one of the criteria to give an award. You have to be very tall. I'm like, maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what it was, you know. I don't know. But I told them it was probably because they keep, confusing me with a New England Patriot player, and they really wanted me to be here to do something. So I was like, okay, I guess that's what it is. I'm very humbled and honored to receive this award. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and for me, it really did take a village to raise this tall guy. You know, if it wasn't for some awesome people, I know I wouldn't be here today. My mom, my many dads, all my moms, and my wonderful daughter, who's here today. They have done so much for me, and they have put up with a lot for me to be here standing this afternoon. I'm here today because somebody supported, somebody sacrificed, somebody cared, somebody loved. We live in a state that exemplifies those values. And I couldn't be prouder to live in a state, this state, and I've chosen this state to go to school, to raise my family, and to live here. As a young professional, I couldn't be more excited about everything that's happening downtown. When you go and walk downtown and you see new buildings popping up, the Riverwalk project is going on. You see new companies moving to town. You see many jobs opening day in and day out, more companies looking to come in town. You have to be excited as a young professional. You have to be excited about the influx of people you're going to see downtown, walking down the street, just crowding the streets, making this city just vibrate on a daily basis. And for me, it's very exciting. As a young professional, I couldn't be more excited. And the only thing I have to say, as a young professional, I am full of fire. We're here to stay, and we're coming for all you old timers. So watch out. Okay. So, again, I'm very humbled and honored to be the recipient of this award, and I want to thank you, everybody, and I just want to keep reminding each and every one of you to always live by those values that exemplify in our state and live as a good neighbor, because that's what makes us strong and makes us the great state that we are. Thank you.
This year, we're awarding 2 Community Service Projects of the Year. I'm just going to read the criteria once. The first one is brought to you by Perry Fitz Bulett and Fitton, CPAs, PFBF, and Choice Investments. The criteria includes enhances the community and good for economic well-being of the area, encourages further development in the region, and must be a non or not-for-profit, a 501c3 or a C6.
The Alphon Youth Center opened its doors in May of 1999 as the only combined Boys and Girls Club and YMCA facility in the country. Youth membership skyrocketed from 1,200 to over 8,000. Towns served increased from 33 to 191, and 2 new clubs were chartered in Maine. You can't talk about the AYC without recognizing its visionary leader and CEO, Ken Walsh. And you can't talk about Ken without talking baseball. Though his leadership in 2017, the center completed renovations to the Matthews Ave baseball field and erected a sanctioned Major League Baseball 2/3 replica of Wrigley Field. As a gift to the city of Waterville, the field, dugouts, and brand new playground are completely accessible. In its inaugural year, the field hosted the 12U District 5 and the 11U New England Regional Tournaments. 14 teams, their families and fans settled into Waterville for the week-long tournament, stayed in our hotels, ate in our restaurants, and shopped in our stores. This tremendous economic boon will hit Waterville with even greater force at the 2018 12U Maine State and 12U New England Regional Tournaments being held at Purnell Wrigley Field. The AYC also completed construction of its exciting new greenhouse structure in 2017, a 42-foot diameter growing dome with solar power, aquaponics, and hydroponics learning labs, and year-round growing beds. This low-footprint, highly efficient space provides an incredible STEM workshop as the opportunity for food-insecure youth to feed themselves. Fresh produce planted, tendered, and harvested by AYC youth is used in the kids' kitchen to prepare 50,000 nutritious meals and snacks served annually to over 200 youth daily and fill the over 120 weekend meal supplement backpacks that go home every Friday afternoon during the school year. Please join us in recognizing the Alfond Youth Center as one of the 2017 Community Service Projects of the Year Award recipients.
Well, thank you very much. You know, it's about team. That's why we brought everybody over for the photograph. It's amazing of the progress that we started out 26 years ago at the old Boys and Girls Club building, and finally it's sold. Isn't that exciting? And the nice thing about it, too, is taxable property, too. And we moved over to a place where it only could be used for recreational use. So we've made a lot of strides over the years, and we're very excited about the service of the Boys and Girls Club YMCA, the merger of the organization, and streamlining that effort. And I met John Beaupre 3 years ago in my office after a really sad event that he had. And what happened from there transpired into something fantastic. So John, I want you to say a few words about that.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. My name is John Beaupre. I'm actually prefer to be recognized tonight as Mary Beaupre's son. I had the opportunity to walk into Ken's office literally the day of my mom's funeral and burial. And I asked, is there some way that we could honor my mom's legacy and give back to the community that she loved? And this guy, you know, being the visionary and man with foresight, said, you know, we have a grassroots effort to build some gardens outside the Alfond Youth Center. He goes, would you be interested in taking it to another level? And he literally let a tiger out of the cage. I've been working, once he knew that my enthusiasm and passion level was high, he recognized that I needed a little bit of help. And he introduced me to a woman over here. Her name is Krista Lavinson. And if I'm the cheerleader and the passion boy, she's been the captain of the ship. And over the last 3 to 4 years, we've raised over $250,000. It's been an overwhelming journey for me as my mom's son. So, you know, not only do I need to thank those two, I need to thank the Sugarloaf community from where I'm from, and the incredible support from the Waterville community where I'm from. and it's just been an incredible, unique opportunity for me to honor my mom. The one thing that my mom would be uncomfortable about is having her name on the front door, but she's not here anymore, so I decided we're going to put her name on the front door. But the reason that she wouldn't mind her name on the front door encompasses 5 of her very strong beliefs in her life. First is children. And what do Ken and I always say? It's all about the kids. Secondly, it's going to create a method of work ethic for children. They're going to be the ones who are going to plant the gardens, they're going to nurture and maintain the gardens, and all of the food is going to go inside to feed their fellow children. My mom was a firm believer in work ethic, and I think most of the people in this room would agree with me. Work ethic breeds success. Thirdly, she loved gardening. She loved it. She was a member of the Central Maine Garden Club. She had gardens. My mom and dad had gardens at their property on Eaton Drive that was open to the public, and people from all around came to check it out, and it was really a source of pride for her. But she ain't seen nothing yet. Where do we open these gardens? Next, she was a big, huge supporter of the old Waterville Boys Club and the Waterville Area YMCA, financially, emotionally, and voluntarily, and she was a huge fan of the Taj Mahal we call the Alphon Youth Center. And then lastly, and probably most importantly tonight, she was a huge believer in this community. Many of you out here are her peers. I think she would be absolutely blown away with this honor, and I know that I am as well. So thank you very much.
And also, we want to mention Fran Pinnell, who coached and developed the baseball program for over 48 years, who on that little small diamond, we created the replica Wrigley Field. And we created that during the time period when they won the World Series. Imagine that. But the excitement of economic development in this community, Phil, you hit upon it. It is just overflowing in this community. Waterville is going to be a totally different, exciting town within the next couple of years, thanks to all of you. And we are bringing to Waterville in 2020, first time ever, the World Series.
And our second community service project of the year is going to the Mid-Maine Homeless Shelter.
Mid-Maine Homeless Shelter's Youth Empowerment Supports Program was developed to provide homeless youth an opportunity to be permanently housed, some for the very first time. The program has developed the capacity to house 12 youths because of its partnership with HUD and the Maine State Housing Authority. This program provides them with a unique opportunity to have a direct and positive impact on the homeless youth in our community. It offers new residents all the successful programming currently offered at the shelter, as well as yes-specific opportunities. Some of these opportunities include case management, youth navigation, pathways to opportunity, and RentSmart. In addition, space has been included on the second floor to operate a pre-vocational retail sales program. The Youth Empowerment Store offers opportunities for residents to gain valuable retail, customer service, financial, inventory, marketing experience, and provide a method of distributing donations to their youth residents and shelter guests. It also has incorporated a young adult committee comprised of its residents to manage the second floor policies, as well as providing opportunities to give back to this community. The program is proud to report it is currently at full occupancy, and each of its residents is writing their own success story. The approach is ending homelessness for young adults, is the first of its kind, and is garnering national attention. Mid-Maine Homeless Shelter would like to invite any chamber member to tour its facility and see firsthand what they're doing. The program enhances the community by providing an opportunity for the homeless young adults in our community to get these men and women off the streets and into productive roles in our area towns and cities. Please join us in recognizing the Youth Empowerment Supports Program as one of the Community Service Project Award recipients.
Good evening. So on behalf of our board, our executive director, our staff, and our many, many volunteers, and most importantly, our guests, I am humbled and honored to accept this award on behalf of the Mid-Maine Homeless Shelter. We started this journey to begin this youth empowerment program a few years ago, and kind of brought a bunch of community members together to brainstorm a little bit about, what can we do with the 6,000 square feet that we have upstairs? And that's about the size of this gym, and it was just about as empty when we started. And we went through this process, and Betty put her hooks into different people to help with things, and we hired an architect, we got a grant, we raised some money in the community, and we came up with a program to provide this housing for 12 of our homeless youth. And these young adults are 18 to 24 years old, and many of them have never had a place to call home before. And it's really, really nice, and it's cool to be a part of that process. So my role in this whole thing was, to kind of help with the construction part of it, and David's role is to run it. So the easy work is done. We've got the project built, the doors are open, the people are in it, and the hard work begins. And I was talking to Dave last weekend, and I said, how's things going up there? And he said, it's going okay. We're learning a few things. We've had some people move in, we've had some people move out. And I said, well, what should we do? And he said, we should build 3 more. So that's kind of the downside of what's going on in our community. We're doing some really good things, but we're not done. There's a lot more room for improvement. There's a lot more people that need help. And I would encourage any of you to stop by, especially you, Kelly, to stop by and visit and take a look at what we do. And the next thing you know, you'll be reading stories to the kids, helping with resumes, cooking a meal, and becoming part of the solution to what we have for a problem in our community. And again, thank you very much, and David's got some things to say about the hard work that he's taken care of.
Thanks. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Chamber for recognizing some of the struggles we have in our community, and one of them being homeless youth. Many of the youth we're working with currently were homeless right here in Waterville. They might have been couch surfing, staying in unsafe places, but to be able to give them a place where they can be stably housed. Our program focuses first on being stably housed, second on career goals, going to work, education, and I just really am thankful for that level of support from our community. I'd like to thank our executive director, Betty Palmer, and our board of directors. And the kids that we're working with are just putting their all into the second chance that they've been offered. And as many kids as we can impact, we certainly will. Thank you.
Danny, can you grab me that? No, I'm good. We're getting it. Jail play before.
It's just the heels. I like to be nice and tall next to Hanson,
Not hard to do.
Our Outstanding Professional Award this evening is brought to you by New Dimensions Federal Credit Union. The criteria are that the award winner must hold a certification within his or her profession, like a doctor, a lawyer, an educator, a CPA, and must give back to the community.
Dan Bernier was born in Waterville, Maine. He is the youngest of Albert and Shirley Bernier's 7 children. He attended public schools in Waterville, graduating from Waterville High School in 1983. He then went on to attend George Washington University, receiving a bachelor's degree in 1987. Dan graduated from New England Law in 1993, receiving the American Jurisprudence Award in Estate Planning. He came back to Waterville to practice law that same year and married his wife, Jennifer, in 1996. They have 3 children. Dan is the Parent Committee Chair for Waterville Boy Scout Troop 436 and currently serves as Assistant Cub Master. He is a member of the Knights of Columbus, a member of the Waterville Housing Authority Board. Dan is a current member of the Maine State Board for Certification of Soil Scientists and Geologists. He currently serves on the board of directors of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce and chairs its Public Policy Committee. Dan has been very involved in planning and implementing the Chamber's popular Meet the Rep events. On May 19, 2009, the Maine legislature recognized Dan for his contributions to insurance law in the state of Maine. Dan has drafted many laws that were passed by the Maine legislature. Most notable of these is that Dan was among the principal drafters of the Maine Guaranteed Access Reinsurance Association, which is now being looked at as a model for other states to follow as part of the national debate on health insurance. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Dan volunteered his time to prosecute cases for the Kennebec County District Attorney's Office. The Kennebec County District Attorney's Office recognized Dan for his contribution in 2000. Dan has taught continuing legal education for the National Business Institute, the Maine State Bar Association, and the Institute for Paralegal Studies. He has taught seminars on insurance law for the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors Maine chapter. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, he taught real estate and probate law at Thomas College. Please join us in recognizing Dan Bernier as a 2017 Outstanding Professional of the Year.
Kelly sent me an email this week saying, just reminding me that I'd have to give a speech, and I was sitting there thinking, you want to hear a lawyer give a speech? That's new. No, the first thing I want to do is thank my wife, Jennifer, as a professional. She's put up with many over the last more than 20 years where I come home and I might be home in body, but my mind is hashing and rehashing whatever hearing went on that day for hours on end and perhaps for the whole weekend. She's supported me through the ups and downs of the legal practice. I'd also say that I was very fortunate growing up to have two parents, Albert and Shirley Bernier, who were true role models that I could look up to. And hardworking, my father, a very successful lawyer and former mayor of Waterville, but one of the things that they taught me was you try to treat everybody with decency and respect. And when I'm talking to young lawyers today, one of the things I often will first say to them is, the judge may decide your case, but the clerk decides how long it's going to be before the judge sees the motion you filed with the court. It may end up at the top of the pile, it may end up at the bottom of the pile. And that's one of the things that I think as professionals you need to look at, is how do we treat everybody. From there, I will keep it brief even though I'm a lawyer. I will point out a few things. I have my two sisters here, Meg and Mary Ann, two of my four sisters. Growing up with four older sisters prepares you for about anything in life. And while sometimes you have to worry that awards like this will go to your head, I also have three children, and my daughter Kate's here, and children have a way of keeping you humble. But I do very much want to thank the Chamber for this award. We have a great staff at the Chamber and the committee. It's such a well-run organization, and I very much appreciate the award.
Our Business Persons of the Year is brought to you by Peter A. Drapo Trucking. Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Business Persons of the Year Award is given to an area business principal or officers who have displayed solid leadership in setting the positive direction of his or her company and has maintained integrity, professionalism, and vision within the free enterprise system of our region. Additional criteria include that the business must be located within the Chamber's geographic area of service and must endorse the free enterprise system and must be an owner or CEO.
On April 15th of 1983, Jeff, Rusty, and their late father, James Damon, started the Beverage Mart on North Avenue in Skowhegan. Upon James' passing, Patricia, his wife, became a full partner in 2004 with the boys. The Damons now own 2 Waterville stores, 2 stores in Augusta, and 2 in Skowhegan, as well as 1 in Bangor. In addition to Jeff, Rusty, and Patricia, and true to its name, there's a strong family participation at Damon's. Donald joined the company in 2004, and his twin brother James joined the company in 2006. The boys are the nephews of Rusty and Jeff. Whitney joined the company in 2010, and Kyle joined in 2011, and both are Jeff's daughters. All 4 of the children began their careers part-time during the summer at the age of 10. The Damon family has been proudly serving Maine for almost 4 decades. In 35-plus years, they've built their business to 7 locations, as well as a large liquor wholesale company. The Damon's family's support and hard work ethic clearly led to their success. The Damon family gives back to the communities where their stores are located by helping multiple charities, supporting nonprofits, and school activities through bottle drives and charitable giving. The Damons believe that employees are the most important part of the company, which gives them the ability to expand with confidence, and that their employee turnover will remain low. Jeff and Rusty have said some of our proudest moments are when employees buy their first homes, first vehicles, and are simply able to afford a nice vacation. When the Damon family references family, it is much more than their immediate family. Their employees, as well as Nate Cottonwar, Stephanie Purnell at Camden National Bank, Jennifer Height at PFBF CPAs, Davidja Barter at Wright Mills PA, Flint Collier at Valley Beverage, Tony Christopher at Cormark, Tony Descent at Pepsi, and they've all been instrumental in their success over the years, and they can't thank them enough. The Damons employ over 100 people in the region, and their hope is that the family business will continue to grow and provide opportunities for a better life for so many that are family and who they consider to be family. Please join us in recognizing Jeff and Rusty Damon as the 2017 Business Persons of the Year.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff I was going to say was just read that I was going through my mind, but actually I wrote that, so I probably should have. To my friends with the tie, this, other than my daughter's wedding and maybe my funeral, this will be the last time you see me wearing one. And I likened having to come up here and speaking to going to the dentist or to court to be sentenced. And the only person that likes it less is standing over there and apparently not saying anything. So, Rusty and my dad and I started the store back in 1983, in a store about the size of this stage. Flint will remember it because he's one of him and Carol Lee, as a matter of fact, are probably the only 2 that have been around as long as I have. Had a Schlitz sign on the outside, the old LaBelle's Market, and I don't even think they sell Schlitz. Kylie, do they sell Schlitz anymore? Do they? I don't think so. And a neighboring store, Noam T2, went on vacation to Florida for a month and closed his store down the road, and we thought maybe we ought to go see him and buy his store, which we did. And it started kind of a chain reaction, and we grew, we sold some stores, we bought some stores. We bought the Early Bird chain from Blinn Galusha in the 80s, I think, late 80s. But things really picked up when the other family members started getting involved, and I want to recognize them tonight because they're so important to what we do. Pat, my stepmother, who came to work at a tough time when my dad passed away, and she developed breast cancer 2 weeks later. So the family went through an awful lot, but she's been fabulous as a partner to my brother and I. My nephew Donald was here next. He was actually here at the time, and Then James followed, because my girls followed from day one. James and Donald would come up summers from Carolina and work as a stock boy, clean the stores, do this. Kylie started counting money. She learned how to band bills for Patty at Camden National in 25s the right way at 5 years old. And, you know, we just continued to grow. And then after the two of them, let me see, I'm looking around now. Rusty's daughter is here, Madison. She works at the store. She's in high school. Two of our managers are here from Bangor, Paul and Dave Maxon. Our manager from Jokers is here, Carol Lee, who I have never in my life been so excited, or we have never been so excited to buy a business that was part of the Waterville community and to have Carol Lee come with it. Fred and Joe were adamant, what are your plans for Carol Lee? And I said, I wish I had 50 Carol Lees because I would own 50 more stores. I mean, she's amazing, as is every person at those two tables. We cannot do what we do without them. They're the future of the company. They're technically the leaders. They work a heck of a lot harder than I do. Since I'm on my way to Myrtle Beach, right from here, the parking lot, loaded. But it's ironic. Everything comes full circle. And my dad raised us. He grew up beyond dirt poor. His dad died when he was 5. His mom went to a nursing home when he was in high school. He lived on his own. He delivered papers in the morning, worked for Christopher Wholesalers in the afternoon, went in the service, worked on a farm. I grew up on a farm running through you know what. And he went to computer school in the late 60s in Worcester, Mass. And very big on education, but always about how you treat people, how you do things. Always be honest, always be polite, always work, work, and forever. But what is really special about this award, and it was 14 years ago tonight, right now, my dad passed away, my dad. And it's very ironic that we received this, and hopefully he's very proud of us. Thank you.
Our Business of the Year Award is brought to you by Kennebec Savings Bank. Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year Award is given to an area business that exemplifies commitment to growth within the community through an expansion of workforce, major renovations, and/or foresight. Criteria also include that it must be located within the Chamber geographic area of service and have contributed to the overall well-being of the community.
Seven, right? In 1917, Boston transplant Harry J. Smith first began keeping written records for a Sanger Avenue blacksmith shop in Waterville. Smith's services included re-ringing wagon wheels, shoeing horses, and repairing leaf springs, and under-the-carriage seat suspension system serving the same smooth ride, smoothing purpose as today's vehicle suspension system. Foreseeing the advent of the automobile age, Smith later traveled by wagon from Waterville to Pennsylvania, loaded it with steel, and returned to Waterville to begin repairing automobiles instead of wagon wheels. Smith's dedication to his Masonic Lodge demonstrated a belief in giving back to the community, a tradition subsequently carried forward from owner to owner. Harry J. Smith died in 1960. In 1962, Robert Gaudry began his 26-year journey as owner, where he witnessed a fundamental evolution in the vehicle repair industry. Thomas College graduate Danny Veyu began his road to Harry J. Smith ownership in 1983 as a leaf spring technician. In 1992, Veyu undertook a $250,000, 5-foot building expansion that incorporated 14.5-foot service bay doors, a specifically designed pit large enough to service the undercarriage of anything from an RV to a bus and 18-wheelers, and the computerized equipment to do any large vehicle front-end alignment. Current owner Randy Belanger joined the Harry J. Smith workforce in 1989. Early in Vayu's ownership, he and Belanger discussed the option of ownership succession, continuing the historical track of a long grooming process leading to eventual ownership. From parts manager to general manager, Belanger progressed in responsibilities to become Dan's right-hand man. After 24 years, Belanger purchased the business that he had grown to love in 2013. Belanger says he has become friends with all of his clients. He enjoys living in Norwalk with his beautiful wife, Kelly, his son, Zachary, and their dog, Remy. They also have a grown daughter, Kayla. Belanger continues to provide services that the past 5 owners have. Belanger said, chances are that if we work on your vehicle, we may have worked on your grandfather's vehicle. The overall business has always had a wonderful outlook on how things should be done. Honesty, stand behind your work, charge a fair price, don't try to take advantage of people. I don't see any reason to change that. Keep it simple, keep it fair, and things work out for themselves, Belanger adds. Please join us in recognizing Harry J. Smith Company as the 2017 Business of the Year.
Thank you all very much. I'm new at this, so I can't emphasize enough that what she said about customer relations, how you treat people fair, really gets you to where you are in business. 100 years of business proves that. You have to thank everybody involved, all the previous owners, thank my wife. We do become friends with all of our customers. It's a revolving door. The same people come back, you get new people. It's just amazing. I can't say that my wife and I were just talking that we saw Barbara Jolovich tonight, and we consider her the cookie lady. Every year she comes back from Florida. We do work for her, and she always brings us cookies. It's just amazing. I'm going to keep it short. Like I said, I'm not good at this, so thank you very much, and thanks.
Our Elias A. Joseph Award is brought to you by Are You Ready to Party? And tonight I want to recognize Elias A. Joseph's grandson, who's in the audience. Thank you for being here. In honor of Elias A. Joseph, for dedication of over 28 years of volunteer and loyal service to the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce, and for professional achievement and unselfish devotion to his community, effectively developing, coordinating, and supervising programs and projects that greatly enhanced all the people of Mid-Maine for over a quarter of a century, and acknowledging his exceptional initiative that includes over 10,000 hours of volunteer service to this Chamber of Commerce, we of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors hereby proclaim and declare that henceforth The Elias A. Joseph Award shall be awarded to those most worthy to bear the name and having displayed similar service to the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce.
Having grown up in Waterville, Dave Roy witnessed firsthand the impact on the community by how many of the people that dedicated their time and resources to make the Mid-Maine area a great place to live, work, and play. From his parents, teachers, coaches, and local business people, Dave learned the values of honesty, hard work, and doing the right thing. Leaving the area briefly to attend college and begin his career in southern Maine, he returned to Waterville after 10 years because the draw of the family and an opportunity to continue his banking career were important to him. Dave began his banking career in 1986 after graduating from the University of Maine. When moving back to Waterville, he had the opportunity to work for one of his prior bosses and began at Kennebec Savings Bank in 1996 and is currently Senior Vice President in charge of risk management. Once firmly back in Waterville, he became engaged in some local nonprofit organizations, such as Central Maine Youth Hockey Association, where he coached for more than 15 years and served on its board of directors for 10 years. He also served as a director of the Waterville Industrial Development Corporation and has been involved in many school booster organizations and industry-related groups. In 2008, Dave joined the board of directors of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce. Over the years, he's served as the chair of Information Services Committee, now known as the Membership and Marketing Committee, member of the Investment Committee. He was a member of the Executive Committee for 5 years, serving as the board chair in 2016. He states that it's been his pleasure to work with such a great group of business leaders and chamber professionals and wouldn't trade his experiences for anything. He only hopes that he was able to carry on the chamber's mission in some small way. Dave currently lives in Waterville with his wife Kathleen and their 2 children, Ben and Lydia, and their yellow lab Lily. He attributes his ability to put extra hours at work or volunteering in the community to the complete support, understanding, and encouragement of his family. He states that while not intentionally trying to set an example for his children of the importance of hard work and civic involvement, he hopes they'll become active members in their communities and help make a difference in people's lives, family, friends, neighbors, all in this great region and state. Please join us in recognizing the 2017 Elias A. Joseph Award recipient, Dave Roy.
I'd actually rather have Jay or Desiree do this. They have a better voice. But I'd first like to congratulate tonight's other award recipients. Sharing the stage with such a great group of individuals is truly an honor. So congratulations to all of you. I'd also like to thank the Chamber, the board, Kim Lindloff, and the entire staff for all that they do day in and day out. It's truly incredible. Until you get involved and you see under the hood of what happens in this organization, you really can't appreciate it. So a big thank you to the Chamber. So when Kim called me to let me know that I'd be receiving this award tonight, I was completely shocked. I had no idea, wasn't expecting it. And my reaction, my immediate reaction, I asked what I think was an obvious question, one that you might all ask. Were there no other nominations? To which she assured me that there were, and that I had won the award and I should be quiet and graciously accept it. So here I am. On a more serious note, to receive an award named after Elias Joseph is quite an honor. You heard all of the accolades, the 10,000 hours that he dedicated to the Chamber of Commerce. If you think about that, that's a 40-hour work week, 52 weeks a year for 5 years. Just truly incredible. You know, this coming from a man who was running a business, raising a family, doing other things in the community, 10,000 hours just is an incredible feat. Obviously, he felt that the Chamber was an integral part of our economic engine, as I believe as well. So just a big thank you to the Joseph family. Without the support of family, I think many of you in the room probably wouldn't feel like you've accomplished as much as you could, and my family's no different. They support me with whatever I do. I don't think once over the years I've ever heard, "Oh, really, again tonight?" or "You don't have to do that this weekend, do you, Dad?" And maybe the kids in the background were giving the fist pump because they got to have pizza again, I don't know. And I'd be upset because I love pizza. But my family supports me because they know how important it is to me and how important it is to our community. So just a big thank you to my wife, Kathleen, my son, Ben, who couldn't be here tonight, and my daughter, Lydia. I am also very fortunate to work for an organization that not only supports community involvement, but encourages it. Part of the Kennebec Savings mission statement includes contributing to the communities that we serve and that we get so much in return from. From the board of directors, the employees, the officers, it's a culture at the bank that is second to none. So to the board, to the officers, employees, my co-workers and friends that are here tonight supporting the Chamber, thank you very much. I will conclude with a challenge to all of you here tonight that if you're not currently involved with the Chamber or the Central Maine Growth Council, I challenge you, get involved. As I mentioned before, until you really get under the hood, you cannot appreciate what these folks do. Join a committee. Aspire to be on the board. Take advantage of all the programming opportunities that the Chamber offers. It's really a great resource. They are an economic engine for our area, and we need to support them. They can't do it alone. You may not have 10,000 hours to give, but you may be able to give 2 or 3 hours a month. And individually, you may not think that's enough. But collectively, if we all do that, that's a tremendous amount of effort that can go into this regional economy. So get involved, network, build some lifelong friendships like I've done, and let's keep making this region the best region in New England. So, thank you.
Before we present our final award this evening, I want to thank the following, again, who made tonight possible. Our major sponsors, Inland Hospital and Central Maine Motors Auto Group. Our reception sponsors, Elanco, CGI, and Valley Beverage. Maine General Health, our entertainment sponsor. The Morning Sentinel for the news coverage that we received and the framed articles that they donated to present to the award winners. I want to thank Jay and Desiree from Mix 107.9 for doing the audio tonight. Brandy Meisner of Skowhegan Savings Bank for chairing tonight's event. And CATV for taping and rebroadcasting tonight's festivities. Thank you to Kennebec Valley Community College, Valley Beverage and our area restaurants, the Parsonage House, Pete's Pig, Rita's Catering, and Italia. Also, thanks to Gary Poulin of Mix 107.9 and Community Productions for operating that spotlight. And of course, there's all the behind-the-scenes coordination, and for that I give a big, huge thanks to my colleagues in the office, Patricia, Kelly, Brittany, and Elaine. Now, to conclude tonight's celebration, here's our final presentation. Our Distinguished Community Service Award is brought to you by Colby College. This sponsorship includes a generous contribution to the Joseph B. Isaiah Scholarship Fund, as we saw earlier. And the criteria include, must be a U.S. citizen over the age of 25 and a resident or business owner in one of the communities that we serve, must have been involved with the betterment of the community for at least 10 years, must have demonstrated community leadership and be credited with no fewer than 3 areas of community service, must have initiated creativity and demonstrated resourcefulness, and must have demonstrated unselfishness towards the economic betterment of the Mid-Maine region.
What began with a small savings and a dream, honorees Kathy and Jeff Corey have built Days Jewelers to 7 stores in Maine and New Hampshire. More importantly, they raised 3 children and have dedicated their lives to improving the quality of life in central Maine with their time and generous contributions. In 1984, the couple moved from Madawaska to Waterville to open Jeffrey's Fine Jewelers. 4 years later, the two purchased Days Jewelers in Westbrook from the Davidson brothers, who founded the company in 1914. Upon retirement, the Davidson brothers entrusted the couple to carry on the Days legacy. The Corey's Waterville store was then changed to Days Jewelers, and 34 years later, the company employs 140 people in 7 stores. Another Days Jewelers is scheduled to open in Nashua, New Hampshire later this year. Success for Kathy and Jeff is not measured in revenues, but through their decades of community service. Kathy currently serves on the board of directors of Eastern Maine Healthcare Systems and has served on the boards of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce, Inland Hospital, Kennebec Valley Community College, and Waterville Development Corporation. She's a past recipient of the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce Elias Joseph Award for Chamber Service. Jeff was named the 2017 Citizen of the Year in Central Maine by the Boy Scouts of America, Kennebec Valley Chapter. As chairman of the Downtown Waterville Business Association, Jeff co-founded Kringleville and the Taste of Waterville. He was previously awarded the Mid-Maine Chamber Business Person of the Year and was inducted into the Husson University Hall of Fame. Kathy and Jeff lead their companies by example, encouraging their employees to donate their time to local nonprofits. Their company culture has been honored by both local and national organizations. Days was named Best Places to Work in Maine 3 times, most recently in 2017. The company was named 2016 Retailer of the Year by the Retail Association of Maine. Days is one of 5 independent retail jewelers to be certified by the Responsible Jewelry Council as the most social, ethical, and environmentally responsible jewelers in the world. In 2017, Days was chosen as Retailer of the Year by the Women's Jewelers Association of America. Both Jeff and Kathy have served on several national jewelry boards with nonprofits that support children, women, and environmental responsibility. Please join us in congratulating Kathy and Jeff Corey, our 2017 Distinguished Community Service Award partners.
I can't believe I'm standing up here when I think about growing up in northern Maine in a community of 250 people, New Canada Plantation, being called clinically shy because I couldn't even look at anybody in the eye to speak to them, let alone receiving this honor with my husband. So thank you. About 40 years ago when I met this guy, it was December 30th, 1977. I was at University of Southern Maine in the School of Nursing. I came home on vacation at Christmas time, and this guy I just happened to meet because he was living across the street from my mom and dad, where they were living in Frenchville, Maine. And unbeknownst to me, he sort of had a crush on me, but I hadn't met him yet. And so on that first encounter, we went out to a bar, and by the time he drove me home, we were pledged to have a business together, get married, and have children. That's the truth. He's an incredible salesperson. I really give credit to Jeff for getting me out of my sort of shyness and believing in me, and sort of a lesson to any one of you out there who think that you may not have the potential to unleash your power that you might have to contribute to others, but it takes sometimes just that lucky chance of somebody believing in you to be able to give back to your community. And then once you get there, it's your responsibility to sort of mentor others. And the Chamber was my first opportunity with getting involved with the community. And Diane Corson, who I know is not here in this group, but many of you know you, said, you know, Kathy, you'd be great to serve on one of these committees. And that's kind of where it all started. So it's been so much fun, and I just think that, you know, today everybody said so deserving, and I'm saying, wow, it's me who thanks the community for the opportunity. It's so much fun to be involved. You ought to try it if you haven't. But anyway, thank you to the Chamber for this.
It's hard to believe that it's been 35 years already since Kathy and I drove from Madawaska to the big city of Waterville. I don't know what was more fearful, the idea of opening our business together, or the thought of being in a community with traffic lights. and you know, I'll never forget when we left Madawaska, I stopped in Caribou to see my grandmother, Alma Sleeper. She was 85 years old then, and she said, Jeff, she said, you have to stop and meet with Elias Joseph. She said, he's a good friend of mine, and she said he'll give you a good start in the community. So I did. I stopped in to see Elias Joseph. And Herb, it was so great to see you here tonight. You know, your grandfather was an amazing guy. And from that point on, you know, how many customers came into our store and said Elias Joseph warned me that I could not buy jewelry anywhere else but at Jeffrey's Fine Jewelers. So, and then I'll remember, you know, one night I locked the doors, and then I got a banging on the front door. So I open it up, and this fellow comes in, and he looks at me, and he says, I want to welcome you to the community. My name is Mickey Martin. And after we talked for a while, he says, my sons are of marrying age, and I'll warn them that they have to buy their diamond from you. What a wonderful adventure it has been to build our business in this community. Our friends Dan and Jane Bickford, who have been so supportive of us, and so many other people who have seen tonight who have supported us. But you know, what is more important, always was most important to Kathy and I, was to provide an environment where our children could grow up and learn respect and be productive citizens. So I would really like to dedicate this award tonight to all of those people in our community who contribute their time and money, who volunteer to so many different organizations, to scouting programs, to coaching, to volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club, because you truly are the soul of our community, and you have provided Kathy and I a wonderful, wonderful gift because you've helped us raise our children. And isn't that what it really is about? And so, to reiterate what Dave Roy said, I encourage you so much to volunteer a little bit of time. It doesn't matter how much, because, if everybody gives a little bit of themselves, the whole becomes greater than the sum of the parts, and our community will continue to be the best community in the state of Maine. Thank you.
So that concludes our program for this evening. I want to thank everyone again for being here, to our sponsors, all those that I listed earlier. Thank you to our board, our chamber volunteers and staff, and most importantly to you, all of our members. Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you to Jay and Desiree. Have a great evening. There's still some food left. Bars open. Drive safely.